Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're talking about Ghostbusters 2016 and 2025. Paul Feig can't quit this movie. He thinks that the fans like this movie. He's still going on about this movie. Everybody else has moved on except for him.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we're going to talk about this. This was a recent, I thought this was like a couple of years ago. This was a recent podcast where the director of Ghostbusters 2016 is out there talking about how much the fans love it, and the backlash came from outside the fandom. That is, I can tell you, not true at all. It's not true. Most Ghostbusters
they made comments too about it being all dudes and stuff too. Also, female Ghostbusters fan here did not like it. Sorry.
No, most Ghostbusters fans, hardcore Ghostbusters fans, felt it was a parody of Ghostbusters.
It was funny because Ghostbusters was always kind of like a funny movie anyway.
Yeah, but this was like I can't put my finger, like Ghostbusters. It was funny, but it still had
a serious story at the heart of it.
Still had a serious story. It still took itself somewhat seriously. This movie, 2016, was just a goofball. It was like
it was dumb.
It was dumb.
Chris Hemsworth getting all the cops to dance. So they cut that out because that was even too lame. That they cut it out, but in the deleted scenes, it's like, who thought this was a good idea? I'm sorry. It was just a train wreck. But beyond that, people complained when they first heard about it, not because it was all female, because like, why do we need another one? And then they're like, why is that the all female? Like, if all male is a problem, going all female isn't going to solve it. Why don't you just do like a mixed cast? And no, it had to be all girls, and it bombed terribly. And this guy cannot get over it.
No, because I think that was the end of his career, basically. I think.
Well, no, he just did something else. That's what he was out there talking on podcasts for.
Well, did anybody care what he did?
Probably not,
it was like he did Bridesmaids and he did this, and then like nobody cares. So we're gonna talk about this. God, it's just
the Ghostbusters fandom were like torn. A lot of people said, I liked it, but a lot of people were like, you might have liked it, but what he's saying is bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest here. Frozen Empire wasn't great either, but at least it.
It was better than that.
It was better than this. It felt quasi Ghostbusters adjacent. I had a lot of problems with it. But let's talk about this. Before you get into any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Go out to more.clownshishtv.com. That's moreclownshishtv.com. So I just want to wind this back a little bit here. Back in 2019, I still remember this. This was fantastic.
God, it was that long ago. It seems like it was just yesterday. It was that long ago?
Yeah, this is the official Ghostbusters Twitter account, X account. And they posted this picture of all of the Ghostbusters continuities, the animated series and live action. And they talked about, we're thankful for our fellow Ghostbusters no matter where they're from. And notably missing from this picture is any reference to Ghostbusters 2016.
Mm-hmm.
They know that people don't like it.
No.
And I thought that was hilarious. Also, Ghostbusters 2016 lost a lot of money for Sony, and that was its cardinal sin. And that was actually Dan Aykroyd came out and said, hey, I kept telling them to rein it in, and they wouldn't do it. And that's why Afterlife, I think, was so kind of low budget compared to the other ones. But so this is coming from Ghostbusters News, which is his own site. Paul Feig says Ghostbusters fans love the 2016 reboot, believes backlash came from outside of the fandom.
Bullshit.
He was on the Get Wrecked podcast with Juju Green, whoever that is. So he's got a new film called The Housemaid.
Yes, that's with the Sydney Sweeney.
Is that? Oh, that's Sydney Sweeney? It sounds like a porno.
I think that's Sydney Sweeney, yeah.
The Housemaid. Okay. The director reflected on the reception surrounding his Ghostbusters reboot, acknowledging that the response fundamentally altered how he engages with social media. Basically, they told him to get off of it. Probably.
Well, no, he changed how he engaged because he thought everybody was going to love it, found out they didn't. And instead of being like, oh, I did something wrong, it's everybody else's fault. They're all trolls. So I'm going to stay off.
Feig admitted that he can barely go online, explaining that what was once a positive space has become dominated by dismissive reactions. That is all of social media. It has definitely changed.
You know what, though? Here's the thing, too, though. Isn't it interesting? He can't go out because dismissive reactions. Yes, to your project. And if you have that much backlash, that many dismissive reactions, wouldn't a normal person be like, wow, I must have really screwed this up and I must have really missed the point on this. It's a me thing. No, I'm going off of it because they're just being dismissive because they have problems. They're toxic. It's like he will not, and the same for Hollywood in general, will not accept the fact that they were wrong. They will not admit they were wrong. They will not apologize for being wrong. They will not do anything. It's everybody else. I'm just not going to go on there. I'm going to stay in my echo chamber. Everybody tells me I'm brilliant, and they tell me that it was a great movie. And I only be friends and listen to those who agree with me. And that, yes, in general, that's social media. That a lot of times it's more toxic than it is positive. But lately, I've been seeing an uptick in positivity, which I've been so happy about on Twitter. I've been posting positive things constantly because I get so happy to see it. We need more of that, but. If there's any people telling you that it sucked, it's not just people being mean and trolling you. It sucked. Sorry. Yeah. Get over it. Grow up. Put your big boy depends on and call it a day.
Despite the lingering backlash, Feig says real-world experiences with Ghostbusters fans have been consistently told a different story. Well, people aren't going to walk... look, here's the thing. A lot of people that talk tough online, they are not going to walk up to you at a comic convention and be like, I think your movie's dog shit, and you're dog shit, and I hate you, and I hate your dog. They're going to talk big online.
Well, let's be honest. The ones that are going to go address him or approach him at a convention or at some place in public are the ones who liked it. People who hate it aren't going to approach you.
No.
You're not worth their time. So, of course, that's, again, an echo chamber. When you're looking at, I'm hearing all this positivity. They said the same thing about She-Ra and stuff. All we're hearing is positivity because that's the only people that will come and tell you. And I mean, you've already told people basically, fuck off. You don't care if they don't agree with you. So they're not going to waste their time to go. You're not even worth it to go tell you to suck a bag of, dicks. You're not even worth it. They're just going to just ignore you completely. And the ones that are that liked it, that are want to kiss up to you, they're the ones who are going to approach you.
He recalled being afraid to go to Comic-Con, worrying he might be confronted in person. When he did return, the reality was a surprise. Everyone's lovely, noting that the hostility largely exists online where people could be mean and terrible without consequence. I would never...
Well, that's likely true, too.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, we get that too, right? It's the same thing. People talk tough online, and a lot of these people are in other countries. You're never even going to run into them. But, it would be a very weird thing to walk up to somebody at a convention and just start talking shit to them. Plus, it humanizes people. When you actually talk to people one-on-one, it might be that I didn't like your movie, but you don't seem like you're a bad guy.
Well, that's just it. I mean, if I talked to the person, I wouldn't go up to him and be like, yeah, you're a big blank, blank, blank. I would be like, let's have a conversation. Like you said about, Kevin Smith, for example, and all the crap that got thrown our way. If he would have talked to you, you would have had a civil conversation with him. You never would have been mean to him.
I would still have a civil conversation with Kevin Smith.
I'm just saying, most people would.
I think that He-Man thing totally wound up getting blown out.
Most people would. Most people aren't going to be that way, but a lot of people aren't going to give two shits about him unless they like his work. And if you don't like his work, you're just going to, not even pay him attention.
I like his work when it's not Ghostbusters. Is that fair? With Paul Feig and with Kevin Smith, I like his work when it's not Masters of the Universe, when he's not working on something that is a pre-existing franchise, right? That you fundamentally don't understand.
Rian Johnson, Sam.
Rian Johnson, yeah. I mean, I can admit that he's got a great eye for visuals and whatever, but he just was not right for Star Wars.
But all these people you're mentioning cannot. They want to dish out criticism. They want to criticize the fans and talk shit about the fans. But then, I'm going to go off social media because they're afraid of them actually coming back. And in all these cases, they all out there made comments about the fans not liking their work. And they're just like, hey, it's not for everybody. I understand that. They immediately went out and were like, it's because you're just a bunch of whatever, toxic man, baby tears, sip, sip, that kind of stuff. And people, no, they don't want it.
Well, here we go. So I was willing to give the guy a benefit of the doubt, and I'm reading what he actually said.
I know what he said. Okay. I know what he said. That's why I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt.
It wasn't the Ghostbusters fans that hated it. No, bullshit. All the ghost heads loved it. Bullshit. It was that second tier of mostly dudes. Bullshit. I always said it's like if you're a couple of nerds reading a comic book and these two tough guys come by, what is that? They pick it up. Hey, this is cool. This is mine now. So he's basically saying the people who didn't like the fact that they rebooted Ghostbusters, which is hallowed ground to a lot of people, that they rebooted it and made it goofy as hell, rather than just admit, hey, it wasn't for you, whatever. It's the dude bro bullies that hated the movie.
Yeah,
not
like,
Ghostbusters fans.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You know how like these guys come over and they're dude bros and they start making fun of you, and you know, I'm like, didn't you guys just all do the same thing? You guys all you saw Ghostbusters and it had a name that you had nothing to do with, making, and you latched onto it to do a movie that you then turned around and pissed all over and did all this shit to it, and then aren't you the ones that were the ones trying to say it's yours now? You keep seeing this with the gatekeeping. The gatekeeping has been excessive lately, and the ones that have been doing the gatekeeping are the ones that basically he's complaining about, and the ones that just came in and decided to make it theirs. But don't give me that it's not. It was all. That's their usual one. I hear it all the time with He-Man too. It's because the toxic men are just so threatened by women that they couldn't stand it, and it's all a bunch of whiny man babies who are complaining. And I get this all the time, especially in the He-Man thing. And I'm like, yeah, except I'm a woman and I hated it too. Crickets usually. It's usually crickets because they're like, oh shit, what do I say to that? It's like a lot of people, it didn't do well across the board globally. So people that aren't white, straight male didn't like it either. And a lot of women didn't like it either.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, it scrubbed out, didn't make a lot of money. It's been forgotten about mostly by even the official account.
Isn't the point when you make a movie like this, because the only reason you reboot it and then change everything about it is because you're trying to go after a new audience. That new audience of female Ghostbusters fans didn't come either. So what I'm seeing is the people that the audience of Ghostbusters fans have been long-time Ghostbusters fans. Some of them came. A lot of them didn't want anything to do with it because they didn't think we needed a second movie. So the ones that went already were more into the idea and they're more willing to accept it. So yes, I'm sure in some regard that is true, but not across the board. I'm saying that the ones you're hearing from are the ones that always were going to like it to begin with. But that isn't indicative of everyone. And saying that if you don't like it, you're not a real fan is idiotic and stupid. And this is why everybody hates you. And this is why you have to stay off social media, Paul.
All right, we're going to wrap it up.
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.